Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to RCJ Gaming and the 1st of April. Now, in April, it is Autism Awareness Month, and also it's been Autism Awareness Week and stuff. And what I wanted to do is a blog on autism, because, you know, there's quite a few people out there who don't actually know what autism is. And I was one of them which didn't have a clue what autism was. But when my son got diagnosed back in like 2010, it opened up a whole new world, a whole new experience on what autism is. And I'm still learning what autism is now, because as he grows a little bit older, his needs and his challenges develop with him as well, type thing. And this is what I wanted to do, is to discuss what is autism. Now, autism, it is a long life developmental disability that affects how people perceive the world and interact with others. Autistic people see and hear the world differently to other people. If you are autistic, you're autistic for life. Yeah, it's not an illness, it can't be cured, and often people who do have autistic and stuff, they feel that it's like an impact on them, their self and their identity, which, you know, it's kind of like, that is what autism is all about. You know, it's not an illness and it can't be cured. Alright then everybody, now what I'm going to do is show you some of the signs of of being autistic. So the next time that, you know, you're out and about and stuff and you see a child behaving a little bit different to a normal child and stuff, hopefully you might actually then realise that they're not just a naughty child, that, you know, they have autism and stuff like that. So if we just have a little look at the minute, it says inappropriately playing with toys and stuff. Now what that means is, like with my son, he tends to get my daughter's playhouse, and what he does is he tends to tip it up so all the furniture falls to one side and starts crashing. It will get cars and will start to crash them, it'll bump them, and it will be destructive and stuff like that. So, you know, inappropriately playing with toys and stuff, that is what it's all about. The inability to relate to others. Now if someone's having a bit of a conversation, okay, about say cards or computer games, usually you can kind of like agree with that person, and you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But autistic people sometimes don't quite understand what the other person is saying, and then that obviously makes it a little bit more difficult in life, because you've got someone like rabbiting on, and then you've got the person with autistic like, okay, so what the hell are we on about? You've got oversensitive or undersensitive to sound. Now with this one, you imagine if you're in a supermarket, okay, you've got all the sounds of the music, you've got the sounds of the checkout, the sounds of the people. It's a really big overload. It's like your sensory overload. It's absolutely a big impact to an autistic person. So sometimes, you know, when they go to the cinema and stuff like that, what they do is they tend to turn the lights on, they will lower the music a little bit, and they'll make it a little bit more kind of like friendly, so that the sensory overload isn't too much for the autistic child. Difficulty dealing with changes to routine. Now with things like routine, you imagine if, say, they go to bed each and every day at 7 o'clock, but before that they have the dinner and a bath. Now if you miss out their bath and then just give them the dinner and bed, you're probably going to end up with a little bit of an overload and a bit of a meltdown, because they haven't had their bath, which is their normal routine. Things like schools, you know, if they're used to having one teacher and then all of a sudden that teacher's off sick and they're not actually prepared for it, that can cause another overload, and oh man, that can cause a load of problems as well. Strange attachment to objects. Now with this one, it's like my son, he was at one time fixated with like Henry the vacuum, but now it's like the Titanic and stuff. and he's fixated to that. He's got to have like the Lego to it. He always plays the computer game Roblox, Titanic and stuff. And yeah, they get kind of like fixated to certain objects, maybe a hat, maybe an old teddy, because he's got a teddy which he had from the age of 4, and he's still now fixated with the object and stuff. He still takes it to bed, still gives it a cuddle, and at the end of the day, that's what makes my son happy and stuff. So yeah, these are just some of the signs, for the autistic child and stuff. So if you see a child like dragging a teddy about, or carrying a leaf, or carrying a pencil, or anything like that, just think to yourself, they're not being strange. What they are, they could be autistic, and that is obviously just one of their things what they do. Well, then everybody, as you can now see on the screen, we've got the autistic spectrum and stuff, and oh man, the autistic spectrum is absolutely huge, and people don't actually realise how vast this is and stuff. And that's why usually when they say that you've got ASD and stuff, they don't turn around and say you've got such and such ASD. They just say you're on the autistic spectrum, because it's anything from like OCD, ADD, depression, anxiety, ADHD, Tourette's. Then you've got, like obviously I said, your OCD, your ODD. They could be gifted as well. There is the spectrum is absolutely huge. I don't fully understand the autistic spectrum because of how vast it actually is. But as you can see, like on here, some of these things are part of the spectrum and stuff, especially like anxiety. That's a really big part. Tourette's, that's once again, it's kind of like a hidden disability, apart from obviously when you're walking down the street and you've just got effing and blinding, this, that and the other. But once again, they're all part of the spectrum and stuff. But now what I want to do is give you a insight to what it's like to live with autism and stuff. Now this poem, it was written by an autistic girl, and she's from New Zealand, and this is what she kind of like specialises in, is autistic poems and stuff like that. And it is really, really good poem, and this will give you an insight to what it's like to be an autistic child. Now this one, it says, another overload. It starts so sudden, fast and quick. My brain feels squeezed, my thoughts erased. I shut my eyes, cover my ears, but it won't stop. It brings tears, but I feel so lost, alone in a world, yet surrounded by lots. Frustrated, scared, afraid, unable to explain my pain, I begin to hit my head while wishing the confusion away. Now this, like I said, was by Matty Angel and stuff, which is a girl from New Zealand, and this is what she specialises in. But this is so true with an autistic child and stuff, because if we're used to supermarketing, because that is quite a big one. In there with your sensory overload, you've got different smells from like the counters and stuff. You've got all the sounds, you've got the hustle and bustle of people around you, and all of a sudden, within a click of your fingers, that is enough. That will send them into like a major like meltdown, overload. And then they will be on the floor, they'll be screaming, they'll be shouting, they'll be crying. And yeah, when you walk past that child, you're going to be thinking to yourself, oh my God, doesn't that parent know actually how to deal with that child? But you know what? It ain't the parent. The parent is not to blame. That child could have autism, and at the end of the day, that can't be helped. The easiest thing to be able to do is to go up to the mom and say, excuse me, do you want a hand with anything? They might just need you to just help them, just to be there for them, give them a kind word, and to be able to talk and give them a little bit of sympathy at the same time. Right then, everybody. And now, another thing with autistic people is that they literally will take things literally. So if you turn around to a child and say, it's going to be raining cats and dogs, they will literally be thinking it is going to be raining cats and dogs. And it's like before a show, if you turn around to an autistic child and say break a leg, they literally will be thinking, well, why do I want to break a leg for? I'm only going to go to a show. You've got to kind of like keep things simple, keep sentences short and sweet and down to the point at the end of the day, and you've got to explain it for what it is and not kind of like elaborate on things, because what you got to remember is, you know, they will see things completely different to what me and you do. But just before I go, you know, I just want to ask you, over next time, you know, you're out and about and stuff, and you do see a child kicking, screaming, and please don't stare. You know, give the parents a break. Even go up to them and ask them if there's anything that you could help them with. Right then, everybody, hopefully you liked this little bit of insight to autism and stuff. If you did, please, you know, let's like the video, let's share it with as many people as we can. Let's get the word about autism out there and stuff. And yeah, just a big thank you for watching. And if you're new to the channel, then why not hit the little subscription button as well. Hit the bell next to it and you can get notified of any future videos I do. And yeah, thank you once again for watching. And as always, everyone, until next time, keep safe, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye. Let it go, make my body go, make our bodies higher and higher.